All right, good day. We're joined today by Kumaran Siva, Corporate Vice President of Enterprise AI Solutions at AMD.
Hello.
And Saad Malik, CTO and co-founder from Spectro Cloud. I'm Kyle Goodwin, SVP of Sales and Operations at Spectro Cloud. We're here in Las Vegas at the AI4 conference, and we're about to cover some of the biggest topics of the day. Not least the brand new AMD Instinct Coder product that we just announced at the show today. So let's dive right in. So Kumaran, we'll start with you. Why are token costs becoming such a big issue?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, every single talk that I've actually been to here, and also the conversations I've had with a lot of different customers. Actually, that's probably the single best thing about the conference is how many customer conversations and how active those conversations are. All of them are leading to token costs as being a problem. And it's not even just the absolute cost, it's the unpredictability of the costs, right? So this is kind of a new thing, I think, that, obviously if you came here a year ago, people were talking about how pilots to production was an issue. It's no longer pilots to production. It's now, oh gosh, these costs are going crazy. My people are doing amazing things, and they're doing cool, wonderful applications using these models, but I have no way of predicting what the costs are going to be, and I have a fixed budget. In every company, almost, IT is a cost center. It's not a revenue generating center. Now, IT is strategic, it's generating new revenue, but it is constrained with that cost cost factor in terms of how it's managed today. And so this is what's been both interesting, exciting, and new that I've learned at this conference, and it's tying all back into token costs.
Absolutely. We started out, I would say a few months ago, we were talking about token maxing, and now we're talking about token savings all over the place. So Saad, with token savings in mind, it's not just the costs that are concerning enterprises, though.
No.
So what else are you saying?
It's not. I mean, I think with the rapid rise now of coding, agents, tasks, all these different things are becoming more automated. What's happening is that all these different aspects is really, it's causing the systems to be more intelligent. Part of the intelligence also means it has to have access to proprietary information. Could be your source code, could also be your customer data, it could also be aspects which is incident logs. All of this information is right now the gold for the actual enterprises themselves. The enterprises, I think, also want control of where this data goes. Which models are able to process it, and on top of it, does the data even allow to be going upwards, up into the frontier models? I think the second aspect to this is right now, a lot of the applications that are being built are also critical business applications. And if one of the actual frontier models are down, which unfortunately today, it's only 2 nines-worths of reliability, then your entire app also goes down. So the aspect of that becomes really important too. And then the last aspect is that the actual frontier models are amazing. They have a lot of great capabilities. But many of these open weight models provide a lot of great capabilities that are able to match on some of the capabilities of what the frontier models does. You don't have to pick the exact same model for every single request. I think enterprises want ability to have control of which model they're able to use, where they fit for open weight, frontier models for where they actually matter, but have the complete decision making of choosing one that is.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So Kumaran, why is local inferencing so hot right now?
Yeah, local inferencing, I think there's 2 reasons. I think Saad hit on some points there that are important. The sovereignty is fundamentally an issue. I think there are, folks have transmitted a lot of proprietary data up into the cloud, and the employees do that all the time. Local inferencing really does allow you to have full control, right? We've even had public sector customers come to us and talk about even using Chinese open weights models as long as it's air-gapped, as long as it's controlled, as long as it's on-prem, right? The point at which you want to keep your data together and you want to use these models, you really do. The only way to truly guarantee that is air-gapped, right? And running it on-prem. So I think that's a huge reason for wanting to do this. Of course, there's cost, and then that's been, we talked about that, and that's going to continue to be an issue. The fact that you can pick the right model for the right job when you're running it on-prem, and you can optimize within the different open weights models of different sizes, different characteristics, that lets you have yet another degree of control.
Absolutely. Do we think, Saad, this is something that enterprises can handle, DIY open source?
I mean, with the rapid innovation in open source technologies, whether it's from the infrastructure all the way up to the platform software and models, it is possible, right? This day and age, building new application end-to-end solutions is there. But if you think about providing an inference-as-a-box solution, all the different components are changing at the same time. You have new infrastructure from your GPUs to DPUs and hardware accelerators. Then you have to think about the actual infrastructure software. Your operating system configuration changes, and have to worry about your Kubernetes config, your drivers. There is the aspect of the model deployments, optimizing for your VLM, your K-serve, your routing. All these different components you can stitch together, but you generally would need a large team that is an expert in each one of these areas. But it's not just a one-time thing. Deploying it once is getting it up and running in a pilot. What about day two operations? What about governance and control? It is possible, but at the same time, there are solutions out there that I'm sure we'll be announcing shortly that can essentially power the entire stack from the infrastructure all the way up to the model serving to the routing as well too.
That's a great segue, Saad. So today, Kumaran,
Yes.
we announced in partnership with AMD, AMD's Instinct Coder. Can you give us the highlights?
Yeah, no, I think Saad hit a lot of this. The real key thing for us, we've had folks do POCs for pushing a year, and a lot of it's because the complexity of trying to pull up and bring in AI token factory or AI factory platform. It's overwhelming because there are so many potential moving parts. The Kubernetes is complex. The serving, the governance, observability, all of those pieces as they have to come together. For very large enterprises, they're going to go do this. They're going to work on all the different components. They're going to assemble a huge team. But for even moderate-sized large companies, having something like Instinct Coder, where you're able to put it in and with Spectro Cloud software, bring it up right away, have a single pane of glass, be able to then point your coding applications directly at the box, have it decide to go the frontier or do it locally. That is just perfect. We're solving a problem that is acute to, I would say, in my estimation, at least the conversations I've had, probably 90% of enterprises that I've talked to have this issue where they have an acute problem. It's going to take them months to bring up an AI factory and putting together a solution, as we have done, that addresses the problem today is just fantastic for them.
Yeah, it's literally an actual black box appliance, everything from the hardware to the software stack, so that developers can get access immediately to the outcome, being able to do development or building agents against the system itself. Right? And again, all the day two operations that comes with it, from model updates to infrastructure updates, all that happens autonomously behind the scenes.
So we talk a lot about being in a box,
Yeah.
right? Is it really enterprise ready out of the box?
That was the key. That's the key with the
That is the
Instinct
key.
Coder is the actual, that instead of now piecemealing different components together, not just the software stack, but even the actual infrastructure coming from Supermicro system itself with the actual MI325 systems, fully optimized model deployments across the entire things, it is out of the box experience. And the whole thing about Instinct Coder is, again, like we mentioned and Kumaran was talking about, it's not just day one, it's day two. It's how do you provide inferencing in production for a small use case all the way to very large use cases itself too. Some of the cool capabilities is the UI provides a very simple experience to be able to deploy new models, to see the health of the system, to be able to operate at scale. Now, we also have the ability in the system to say, it's not local only, it's local first. There may be some requirements where certain type of operations, make a video generation, maybe certain classification problems that are dealing with physics or health. We have the ability in our multi-model router to specify based on different semantics, based on different keywords, to automatically burst out those type of requests to a frontier model or to another endpoint itself. The admin team gets full control and visibility in terms of who's able to do what and when. You can choose very specific governed rule that says this team X is able to use this much dollar quotas, this much requests, this much tokens for the local models, and if they're allowed to use for egress, for what purposes. That entire visibility is built into the platform, making it super easy to maintain.
So recently we launched, well, launching today, right? But with an early customer, and how long, Saad, did it take us to get it up and running?
Yeah, it was one of those things, the first customer to be able to get Instinct Coder up and running. Obviously, we're expecting, hey, we're having a very positive, optimistic experience with it. The customer logs on to Zoom. It's a technical person. He did not have Claude Code installed. So the very first thing we do is let me get Claude Code up and running itself, the brew installed. Then we have him share his screen, go onto the actual Launchpad, AI Launchpad UI. From there, he created his own tenant. He created his own quota control, specified his egress policies, then went back to his terminal and then built a 2-tier Python application. This entire experience, everything from Claude Code to using the AI Launchpad Instinct Coder, all the way to deploying an actual Python application, less than 10 minutes.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Less than 10 minutes.
That's great.
So
That's what we're looking for.
And I think the key is that we can start very simple. Like we want to be able to show the value out of the box right away, but then still provide the flexibility to make modifications. Whether it's quota controls, deploying your custom models, bring your own model support, being able to do more heuristic-based determinations. All of this is possible as flexibility in the platform. But getting things up and running is a key.
We want the easy button.
We want the easy button
and
first,
we want
yeah.
the ability to go expand and go crazy. But the other piece of it that's really important too is the platform itself. It's a 12 kilowatt box.
Yeah.
It fits into a standard, like 90% of enterprise data centers can take this platform and just drop it in. Because you'll be able, the power supplies will be there, the environmentals are fine. You don't need water cooling. You don't need to go upgrade your, to a higher per rack. It just works. This is a fantastic solution for mainstream enterprise.
And I think to Kumaran's point, it's like you start with a single box, right? You don't need very fancy storage. You don't need very fancy networking. Everything is contained within the box. It just works. Now, a single box today with the MI325 is able to support 50 concurrent developers, which is great. And the ROIs I'm sure we'll get to is incredible. But what happens if I have 100 developers or 200 developers? It's the same system that supports a scale-out architecture. You're just able to add an additional box into the system. It automatically joins into the cluster. You get additional capacity right away, right? You are able to keep adding as many nodes as you want and have complete scale-out architecture that grows linearly.
That's excellent. So out of the box, we know we can get it racked, stacked, onboarded, implemented in under 10 minutes. That's maybe you guys should quote that.
Well, we'll have the customer talk about it.
Yeah, but we'll have the customer coming at you soon to talk about that. But Kumaran, let's go back to the economics, the tokenomics, what have you.
Yeah.
So we understand the onboarding and how quickly we can get it up and running. What's the ROI for the customer?
It's going to be huge. I mean, our estimates. I mean, you've got ranges up to $2,000 per developer per month, right? So you can truly get value out of 50 developers running, for a platform of this size. I guess we haven't fully finished all the pricing, but our expectation is the payback's going to be well underneath 6 months.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I know a couple of things I saw was 70%. We're saving 70% on the token cost overall based on that 50 concurrent developer.
That's right. 70% is a huge number, right? And that still assumes that some number of tokens still go to the frontier. Yes. So it's actually savings that's realistic. And we're deploying this at AMD, so we'll have some experience to share about how we're saving those kinds of dollars as well.
And we're doing the same at Spectro Cloud. So more to come from the case studies of our internal solution.
Yeah. The thing I love most about this entire solution is that developers themselves, their experience does not change at all. Whatever workloads that they have today, whether they're using Claude Code, Helix, Cursor, any tool that they have, it's exactly using the same tool that they're used to. But now developers use their same workflows, enterprises get control of their AI, right? And the entire visibility in terms of how all the operation happens is there. AMD powers the inferencing for it.
Excellent. So let's say everybody understands there was something else?
No, that's great. That's
awesome.
Surprise as well.
So let's say everybody understands the ROI and they're thinking, okay, how do I get this? What do I do? What do they do next? We'll start with you, Kumaran.
I think by the end of this month, we will have boxes that are orderable, and we'd love for people to try them out. We'll have POC systems so that you can go in the cloud, you can configure your Claude Code or your VS Code or your Cursor, point it to our platform, and then be able to get the full experience.
Yeah. And then the platform teams also get a visibility in terms of how many users are using it, how much tokens are being saved, how much cost is it saving now, instead of going to the frontier models, and then still configure advanced policies on when are you allowed to go up there.
Well, personally, I've been walking the floor for AI4 for the past 2 days, and I'm not biased at all, but I can say that AMD Instinct Coder is the most exciting solution that we've seen, and I'm sure these guys beside me will agree. It hits the token cost challenges head on for enterprises, public sector, regulated industry, and makes the promise of local inferencing real in production. I'm sure plenty of CIOs are going to be knocking on our door, like probably yesterday they already started. That's all we have time for today. Thanks to Kumaran and Saad for the great conversation, and thank you guys for watching. Until next time.